What up guys, welcome to the 4th episode of Summoning Sundays. This week I am going to be comparing a different charm collecting method. So usually on my past episodes I've been at Dagganoths in Waterfiends Island, and that's been doing me quite well. It's very AFKable, and now I've got my Royal Cannon, so I probably will be using that in the future. However, this week I just wanted to trial out a different method of charm collecting, and I opened that question up for you guys on my last episode for you to predict what monster would I be going to kill whilst I have my triple charms active. Well, one of you did guess that, and I'll go through the name in a moment. One of you guessed that it would be Waterfiends, and correct, it is Waterfiends this week versus Dagganoths. I'm going to find out over the 40-minute period whilst you're having triple charms how many crimsons I can get, and then compare that to my usual amount of crimsons which I get whilst at the Dagganoths. Now, before I head over there, and I'll skip through obviously the bit where I'm at familiarization. Now, if you haven't watched my previous episode, the very first episode, I walked through the familiarization and how that actually rewards you with triple charms. Well, a few little tips of just finding a world. I've been struggling today, and usually I get quite lucky each week, and I'll just hop to different worlds and eventually I'll find a world within around 2 minutes. But this time it's took over 6 or 7 minutes of trying that tactic. I'm extremely unlucky and it isn't working, so I've been asking a few mates, what method did you use in order to find familiarization as quick as possible? Well, there's a FC, or a friends chat, called the Obelisk chat. The owner is Hughes Horde, and well, this used to be popular supposedly, and now as you can see there is only me in this friends chat, so to be honest guys, this probably ain't going to work out. So the other method is to press F3 on your keyboard and you'll go to the adventurers log. Now if you scroll down under the minigames tab, you'll see familiarization at the bottom where it is on my screen, and that'll tell you how many minutes until the next familiarization in this world. So obviously I could go on AFK, different skill, come back in 56 minutes. However, this is the time frame I've got to make this video. I want to make it now, so I'm going to try and hop to different worlds, and the method I'm going to use is keep hopping to different worlds, pressing F3 and seeing which one has the closest countdown. If it has around 5 minutes, I'll probably just wait it out. Any higher than that, I'll keep hopping worlds until either it's active or until the time is quite low, and I'll wait. So there's a little tactic for you guys if you're struggling on finding familiarization quickly each week. There you go, that's how you do it. Okay, so this is how pushed I am for time. I literally only have an hour to make this video, so I've not been able to go familiarization. I'm so unlucky this week, I just can't believe it. But what I will do is, just times obviously the crimsons I get by 3, time it for 40 minutes of me being there, and there you go, basically that'll be a good comparison. So I'm going to make my way over to the Waterfiends, and I'm going to go to the Ancient Caverns to actually do this. I'm hoping it's going to be quite quiet. Today's the release of the ports update, and also Nex has been updated, where basically Nex can now mage protect prey, and also you can actually have an instance at Nex as well. So I'm guessing the majority of people are going to be there trialing that out. There may be a few people here doing Slayer, but there is another method as well, obviously, to go to the wilderness. And go to the wilderness in the chaos tunnels, and there's a few little tips I can give you there if you are going to make it to the wilderness in the chaos tunnels. Firstly, what I will say is have anticipation ready if you're going to go in there. That'll prevent you from being stunned. I know it's only like level 6 wilderness, but there's always a chance there's going to be a people killer there. So use anticipation. Also have surge or escape or surge on the ready on the ability bars. Reason for that is so if you are tele blocked or anything and you can't teleport out with a teletab, then at least you can surge or escape away, because obviously you're not going to get stunned, and then you can run away to obviously safety and eat up as you do that. But I'm not going to do that today. I'm actually going to go to the Ancient Caverns, so I'm just going to dive into this whirlpool and we'll see how this goes. There we go. Right, so I am in the Ancient Caverns, and I love this place. Hopefully, from what I remember, it has been updated as well. But I remember when all the dungeoneering places got updated, and I just love the graphics of these places, and I never come to these places anymore because the only reason why you would come here is for Slayer, for example. Look at this, it's absolutely empty. Absolutely awesome. I knew it would be. So yeah, I used to do Slayer years ago. As you can see, my Slayer level is only 88. And I used to do Slayer years and years ago, but now I just don't enjoy grinding out low level monsters that much. But obviously I'm going to do this for my summoning, so we'll see how this goes. So I am... oh shit, why is that skeleton warlord killing me? God damn it, these abilities. I never range, guys, so I obviously just use an ability which bounces off. Ah, it must be that one there. So yeah, let me have a look at what that one is actually. I'm just intrigued now. That one is called the Ricochet. Yeah, okay, that would make sense. It ricochets off things. So yeah, basically, I'm using some abilities. I'm not the best ranger in the world, I'd say. But I tried to get some gear which I felt would be a good comparison against the Virtus, which I usually use. So at the... Wow, why didn't I bring a bunyip? Have you saw those raw sharks? Right, I do get off on one sometimes when I commentate live. So yeah, this is not pre-recorded or scripted. So all my Summoning Sundays videos, I usually just ramble on. I hope you do enjoy that. But this video, basically I'm comparing my charm collecting methods. Now, in Waterfiends, I've heard that they're really good for Crimsons, so I thought, you know what, if I don't know for sure whether these are actually better than Dagganoths, then maybe you guys don't either. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to give it a go and let you guys know my results. So I thought that'd be a good thing. Brought my unicorn as well. I thought that'd be handy just to heal, because I don't have a clue what these hit. Like I said, I'm not even a slayer, so I'm really not sure what these hit. But I thought it'd be nice to just do a lower level boss and also get some equipment which potentially, you know, I do have quite a large bank, but I'm not a ranger. You know, Virtus is quite expensive. Pernix, could say is expensive, but it's not on the high side. You're looking at about 60 mil for just the armor, really. So that's not too bad. And then the Royal Crossbow obviously is dead cheap. You can get that from the Queen Black Dragon. A very good, decent price. What I will say is that I'd like to compare exactly what I'm wearing and why I've chose this gear setup. So I've chose Pernix because it's a level 80 tiered armor, and when I'm at Dagganoths, obviously I tend to use the Virtus, which is also a level 80 tiered armor, and I also tend to use the Virtus 1 and Buck, which is level 80 tiered weaponry. So I've used a Royal Crossbow here, which gives a damage of 1020, and that's also a level 80 tiered weapon. Yes, it's two-hand and Virtus is dual-wield. However, I'm not going to get into the finer details of things. Here, obviously, you cannot AFK. Over at Dagganoths, you can AFK, but I've got a roundabout, decent, fair comparison here. You know, that it's all level 80 tiered, so I'm sure you'll understand that, and, you know, it makes sense that this is a decent, you know, a decent comparison. Why the hell is that dragon attacking me? Holy shit. Run away! Shit. Why is that attacking me? Oh my god. You know what? Let's try devotion against this bitch. Here we go. Right, it stopped attacking me. Stuff it. I'm not even going to bother. God damn it. I've got to be careful. I've got to be careful with Ricochet, guys. Wow. Okay, so don't use Ricochet, guys, when you're next to a dragon. There's a little tip for you guys. Alright. You've just got to love, guys, when off the hook things happen on this game. It's just so awesome. I just can't believe that dragon just attacked me out of nowhere. But yeah, like I was saying, this is the gear setup I had. Now, I did think around getting the Zarite bow, and the reason for that is because it's also a level 80 tiered weaponry. It's also a two-hander, so I thought, you know, I'll go and check that out, see what damage. Now, it gives an extra 450 damage than this Royal Crossbow does. Thank God I didn't drink 2 of those then. It does give an extra 450 damage than the Royal Crossbow, so I was thinking, okay, that must be better. However, after chatting to a few mates in the clan chat, the Mexicans clan I'm in, I asked them basically, you know, what is the main difference between the Zarite bow and the Royal Crossbow? And a good friend of mine, NoKick47, helped me with suggesting, and also Delusion, which have been in my previous videos. Basically gave me a bit of advice around, well, it's not much difference. You know, they're pretty equal. They're both the same tier, so surely, you know, they're quite equal when you use abilities. So that'll be quite a good thing to investigate potentially in another video, where I may investigate, you know, the Zarite bow, or do a comparison, you know, like a versus video between, you know, the Zarite bow and the Royal Crossbow, and maybe the Chaotix. If I ever did get the Chaotix, which is highly unlikely, because there's just no need for them when you've got the Ascensions, etc. But I potentially might look into that and investigate for you guys. If you guys know, if you have any evidence or you compared it yourself, the Royal Crossbow against the Zarite, I am very interested. Just let me know in the comment section below. You know, that would be quite interesting for not just myself, but also my subscribers, so that would be great. Thanks. So yeah, if you just give me a second, what I'll do is I'll try and concentrate. I've also unleashed the Death Swiftness, which is an awesome ability. You can get this from completing the World Wakes quest and many other abilities. I actually made a review on the 5 abilities quite a while ago now. It was probably when I first set up my channel around a month and a half, 2 months ago. and you know, I did make a quite in-depth review around these abilities. I never really used Death Swiftness properly before, but it's very equal to Sunshine. It's a very good ability, it seems. It does increase your increases your damage by 50% for a total of 30 seconds, which is very interesting. Also, if any Waterfiends actually step into this shroud, then it actually deals them 10 to 20% of your weapon damage every 2 seconds. So if I just whack this on now, this ability, this Waterfiend here, if I start attacking it, it'll start getting attacked by 10 to 20% of my weapon damage, which is quite interesting. So I'll definitely start using this over the next 20-30 minutes, which I've got left. I'm actually using my iPhone as a timer, so I'll hear it buzz off as soon as my 40 minutes are up. So I will resume this video soon, probably towards the end of this trip. So wish me luck, guys, and hopefully I don't have a clue what results I'm going to get from this, guys, so it's a complete surprise to me as well. So we'll just see basically how many Crimson Charms I get here compared to Dagganoths, whether it's worth it, you know, for that 40 minutes of triple charms, and also weighing up the different variables which you've got to think of, such as the AFKing availability at the Dagganoths compared to this, where you do have to spam abilities consistently. So I'll see you in a minute, guys. Bye. Also, what I am going to make use of is this Devotion ability here, and whack that on, and then that'll actually protect me from these Waterfiends for a set amount of time. It's a very handy ability, actually. You know, it protects you for 20 seconds, so if I just whack this on, they use range from what I remember, and a bit of magic. Let's have a look. So at least it'll protect me from the range for a little bit, and I'll just see how this goes. Really, it might be better than using Soul Split all the time, so I'll be right back. Now, what I will say is it's quite interesting coming to lower level bosses, actually, when you're so used to killing, you know, the hardest bosses in the game, like Virago, for example. I do go Virago a heck of a lot, as you will see on my videos if you go on my channel, if you haven't been on there. And to go here and just to use different abilities is quite interesting. Now, watch this. If I whack this on and I use Bombardment, the hits are just beautiful. Like, I mean, if I can get like a few of them together, and the Death Swiftness ability, you know, combined with Bombardment is beautiful. Like, if I was DPSing a Virago with range, whatever, then I'd use Death Swiftness, you know, at the right time, and I'd definitely, you know, pump up my adrenaline up to use a threshold. And I actually hit earlier 3.9 and a 4K on 2 separate Waterfiends with Bombardment whilst Death Swiftness was active, so that was really nice. So you can really put into use, you know, your PVMing whilst you're killing, you know, low level bosses. And every time, look how quick this Death Swiftness actually charges up. I mean, I'm going to use it again now. I'm just constantly using this thing. It's beautiful. Like, you know, I'm used to it, Virago, having to wait, you know, until different phases are over if I'm range DPSing. But here, you know, it's just constant all the time. Like, using Death Swiftness all the time. It's just absolutely awesome. I don't know whether I'm doing it right, whether I should be doing it like this, but I'm pretty certain I should be, and it's just beautiful, like, being able to DPS like this. It really is. But yeah, I'll be back in a minute. Okay, no, just topped it again. Did Bombardment, hit a 5.1k, so I don't know whether that's good with range with a raw crossbow, but I'm pretty certain that sounds quite good, and it does make me think about when I use Virtus 1 at Virago, and when I hit a 5k, that's really amazing. So to be honest, guys, this ain't too bad, this raw crossbow, you know, and it's so cheap to make. I mean, I don't know the exact figure, but it really isn't expensive. You're looking at about $1 million, I think, to make the whole thing. It's so cheap, and you could even probably just go to QBD and get it yourself, you know, from scratch. You know, I can't see that being that hard to actually do. But what I have done now, actually, I was wondering, you know, I was killing a Waterfiend, and it dropped dead, and it gave me let's have a look, 1.2k XP, I think it is. Let's have a look. Let's kill this one right here. What's that going to give me? It gives me 1.243 XP for one Waterfiend. So I was like, damn, that's good XP. So I thought, I'm going to go into my interface and actually track the experience. So as you can see in the top right hand corner here, I'm going to track experience now for 15 minutes at Waterfiends, constantly doing it with Death Swiftness and trying to max out my DPS here. So I'll be right back after 15 minutes, and I'll show you exactly what experience I've got. Times that by 4, and there's your hourly XP rate at Waterfiends. So give me a second, I'll be right back. Look at that, guys, 92k XP. So if you round that down to 90k XP after 15 minutes of non-stop ability hoarding, pressing, agonizing. I'm just not used to pressing abilities this much all the time. I mean, fair enough, yes, at Virago, if you're there for a few hours, maybe, yeah, you're used to it, but It's not like this where I'm literally spamming the abilities, just trying to get every game tick within me pressing an ability. So there's 90k range XP after 15 minutes. If you times that by 4, that's 360k range experience per hour here at the Waterfiends, and that's with level 95 range, as you can see here. Yes, I am not maxed range, everybody. 95 range there. So you can imagine the experience there. You know, if you get to 99 range and you're here, you know, just for experience, let's say you're going for a 200 million experience skill, I don't know, but I just can't imagine what the XP is like. You know, with 95 range, 360k range XP per hour here. I am getting every single game tick here though, pretty much. So yeah, it's quite agonizing. When I compare it to Dagganoths here, my personal preference, damn already, to be honest, is Dagganoths. I mean, yes, I do like range here, and I would like to get 99 range. That would be quite nice. But at the same time, maybe I should just use chins at Dagganoths and sacrifice a few charms an hour there for the sake of some range experience. I don't know. I might have to trial it out. I might try that next week's episode and just see what my charms rates are. As you know, I might as well get my range experience up whilst I'm doing an AFK method, because otherwise I might regret it later on. So yeah, I'll be right back at the end of the video. 40 minutes is almost up. I've only got a few minutes left now, and I've got 169 charms, so literally about 5 minutes to go, guys. Also guys, just before I end the video, the sacrifice ability here, I did do a review on this, a quite in-depth review whilst I was soloing the Dagganoth Kings. However, what I didn't review was the fact of low level monsters and how it might actually be quite useful if you're grinding out a boss like this, or if you're doing Slayer, for example. So it does heal 100% of what your last hit is if you kill the monster you're killing, so if it actually dies. So what I'll try and do is capture a point where a Waterfiend is almost dead, and I'll try and capture the point of me using the sacrifice ability and see what I heal. Nope, that's not good. Okay, just give me a second until it recharges up. This is quite hard to do, actually. I can assume it requires some practice to actually pull off. Okay, so I'm going to give a go at trying to use this sacrifice ability now effectively. As you'll see here, I'm going to use it right now, and there you go, 1162, 100% heal of the hit if the opponent or monster dies. So yeah guys, coming up now to my 1 minute mark, and I've got 187 charms, looking quite promising, but you'll soon find out exactly how many charms I get after the 40 minutes are up, sorry. Almost there. Some guys actually just came, but I've just let him know that I'm only going to be 1 more minute until I leave, and I just saw him actually trying to kill something there, and I absolutely rape these Waterfiends, to be honest, when I compare to the speed he was killing. It definitely is worthwhile. You know, you can see the difference when you get those combat levels up, so definitely worth training if you haven't trained yet, guys. Definitely worth training those combat levels up, and probably a good way of doing that is by Slayer. I'm not really that knowledgeable on combat training techniques on the game anymore. However, I'm guessing Slayer is probably one of the most productive ways in terms of leveling, you know, different levels such as Slayer. If you are ever gonna go for 99 Slayer or 99 in all skills, whether that's a goal of mine as well, I'm not too sure yet. I'm just doing the skills I enjoy doing at the moment, guys, and that's the way I play the game. You know, I just do what I enjoy. So be right back. 30 seconds left, and then I'll let you know how much charms I have collated. So there it is, guys, 195 charms collected over a 40-minute period of just normal charm collecting. So if you times that by 3 for triple charms, you're looking at 585 crimson charms over the 40 minutes. Hardly any blue charms, to be honest, and around 33 gold charms, so 90 gold charms to 100, which isn't as much as you would get at Dagganoths either. So as a whole, my comparison, you know, over the last couple of weeks, the last few weeks of doing Dagganoths, I've got around 700 crimson charms and over the 40 minutes of triple charms. So if you compare it to that directly, then it's about 100 crimson charms less. Obviously, I've got 5 range levels lower than my magic, which is level 99. Which will have an influence on it, which is a bit detrimental to the comparison, obviously. However, my personal preference, obviously, at this state is probably Dagganoths, and what I will have to do personally is probably try out the chins method at the Dagganoths instead of using magic to be a bit more productive in terms of skill training, so potentially add some more experience to range. However, what you do have to weigh up is that I am sure that range experience that Dagganoths will not be as effective as Waterfiends. So as you saw me calculate earlier, in 15 minutes I got around 90k experience, which is equivalent to 360k range experience for an hour here at the Waterfiends, which is just insane range experience. I did hear that this specific boss on RuneScape was a good boss to train on for your range. Well, here you go guys, this is evidence right here in terms of your experience gained. I hope you enjoyed this video. As you saw as well, sacrifice ability, very useful. A few different useful tips and tricks which I actually just thought about throughout this past 40 minutes of the Waterfiends. But those are my variables, that's my opinion. Let me know what your opinion is of Dagganoths versus Waterfiends. What is your preference? Are you willing to click those abilities and spam them, or would you rather AFK at Dagganoths and maybe watch a movie or whatever you guys want to do? Obviously, if you're looking at your combat experience as well, range will be more effective at the Waterfiends compared against Dagganoths, guys. But there you go. Hope you enjoyed this video and this short comparison, a little bit different. And I'll see you in next week's episode of Summoning Sundays. And I'll see you in my next video soon. Remember to check out my event video highlights. That was an absolute epic night. So thank you all who actually went to that event. I'll see you in the next video, guys. Take care. Bye. Thanks for watching.